Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, aka Doris number 98, and this time I'm doing a little bit something different. As you can see on the video screen in front of you, I've got some Arctic Combat gameplay, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. If you guys didn't know already, Arctic Combat just came out for open beta test, and before you saw me put out gameplay of the closed beta testing. And obviously not everyone was able to get in because there was a limited number of beta keys. So now that it's an open beta, and since you obviously don't need a beta key anymore, there are lots of people on, and that's a good thing. So I just wanted to talk about the changes that they made to Arctic Combat, because I felt like there were lots of changes that were significant enough for me to, discuss, and to a certain extent. So yeah, let's just go right into it. So let's just talk about overall HUD changes, the HUD changes to your heads-up display. Definitely there is a change to your HUD. I feel like the your FOV, maybe there is an option that you can actually change your FOV in the options menu. I don't know, I haven't checked, but last time there wasn't an option like that. So with the open beta testing as compared to closed beta testing, I feel like your field of view is much more constricted. I'm not really too sure exactly how it is, but I feel like there's definitely a reduction in my field of view. So for those of you guys who do not enjoy that, who prefer having a larger FOV, then that's gonna be really bad for you guys. Unless you never played the closed beta testing, which in which case you would never tell the difference. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like the closed beta testing Arctic Combat FOV was just right. It feels like now in the open beta testing, the weapon is way too, I don't know, it's way too close to your body, I feel. So, I don't know, it's something that I felt like needed to be mentioned. Also, another thing that it feels like Arctic Combat now, feels like your movement speed, your base movement speed has been reduced quite drastically. Like before, you could run at a decent pace without any gear on. I don't even know if there's really any gear that in the game that lets you run faster, because I really don't give a damn about gear in most games except for combat arms. But it definitely seems like you run a lot slower. Probably not a lot, but you definitely do run slower, and really this makes it feel almost as if your movements are very constricted. I know I've said that about the FOV already, but I don't know, it just feels like your movement speed is also very limited in what you can do. Before, as compared to before, I felt like if you run away in order to avoid a gunfight, that was a viable option. But now it seems like really you can't run away from a gunfight anymore, and I've had to resort to bunny hopping my way out of gunfights in order to, if I see that I'm in a gunfight that I know I'm gonna lose, and if I have the time to try to make my getaway, then I'm forced to try to jump out of the way as opposed to just simply running away. So yeah. Movement is now, I don't know, it's not as free as I guess you could say, or it's not as fast as it was before. So when you're running around carrying like an RPG or something, or like a heavy weapon, then you definitely feel the hit, because now you just feel like a fucking snail. So yeah. Don't want having that happen anyways. So yeah, that is that for the movement speed. Let's see. Other than that, basically Arctic Combat has been the same since before. Though the waiting screen where when you first hop into, or when you first start up a game, like when the emod actually, or not, playing too much combaters, the room moderator actually starts the game, then there is actually a legit waiting screen, which may or may not be beneficial. For one, I don't really like sitting through the entire thing. But also, it's fair for other people, for them to start with the entire room. Like maybe you don't have a very good computer, and you kind of need to wait a moment for your computer to actually load you into the actual game. So for those people, it'd be pretty good, because so that they don't have to technically join a game that's already started, and they can start with the other people. it's a double-edged sword, but I think it's more good than bad. Another thing that I also want to talk about is, let's see. Oh, that's right. Your currency. So before, I don't know how much money you started with, like in-game money, but I like how they started you off with 50k, so you could buy pretty much any weapon, like right off the bat, right off the get-go. And you know, if you've tried other weapons before in closed beta testing, and you know you like that weapon, then the game gives you enough in-game money to purchase a weapon straight from the shop. Right as you start the game. So in that sense, I think that's a very good idea because you know, it incentivizes people to come back to the game, and if they see that they have enough money to buy a gun that they really liked when in the closed beta testing, because with each beta test your stats reset. I remember I was up to like level 17 or something in the first closed beta testing before my stats got reset for the next closed beta testing, and I had quite a few guns on there. And also they give you lots of weapons as you rank up, so it's not like you need to buy everything. For me personally, I bought the Hekate, a sniper. It's a one-shot bolt-action sniper rifle in Arctic Combat, and I don't really know when you exactly unlock that. I don't even know if the game gives you it at all through unlocks, but I bought that anyway because well, it's a sniper rifle and it's pretty good. So it's a one shot. How can you go wrong with that? Well, it does tank, but if you notice where you shoot people who tank your shots, then you know you find out you shot them in the hand or something, so it's understandable. So yeah, the way they manage money is also a very good idea, and also it's kind of like Soldier's Front, where you know your guns are for permanent and you need to repair their durations, or you need to repair your guns so that they don't break or something. But they give you lots of ways to earn points, like either through ranking up or through completing these challenges, these daily jobs, kind of, if you will, that are kind of reminiscent of those from Combat Arms. And yeah, it's just an overall much better money system than it was Soldier Front, where they just basically paid you 3 times throughout your entire career and just told you, yep, you're on your own, sorry. So other than that, let's see. I guess we could discuss more about the weapons themselves. I don't know. I feel like assault rifles still pretty much dominate in Arctic Combat. There are a lot wider, like it's kind of like Combat Arms, where there's a much wider selection of assault rifles than there are submachine guns. That's just my connotation. I think they added the AK-74SU, or something like that, the AKS I think it's called, and the G36C. I haven't tried the G36C much, but when I picked it up off the ground, it didn't seem too good. So I may have to kind of maybe try it out a little bit in more detail. I may start weapon reviews for Arctic Combat, but at the same time I kind of don't, because any gun in that game kills really fast. Unless it's a submachine gun, you're shooting people at long range. That's not a very good idea to begin with. But on top of that, when I unlocked the MP5 submachine gun for Arctic Combat just recently, I noticed that they gave you a red dot sight right away. So I think that's a very good idea, because previously in closed beta testing, if you unlock the gun for like just unlock the gun through ranking up, like you got the UMP, you got the Scar L, you got the MP5, they wouldn't give you a red dot sight. And I've heard that you can actually either give yourself a red dot sight, or you could change the way the red dot sight looked, but do like the options or something. I never really bothered with that, but more because the reason was because I didn't really know where to look. But I like how they just give you red dots off the bat, because I remember all those weapons that I mentioned just now, their iron sights fucking sucked. Like the UMP-45, the iron sights basically was a big dot, like a big circle that you basically had to guess where the middle of the circle was. MP5 RAS was no better in that it was basically like a flip-up iron sights, where you really had no idea where you were shooting, and Scar L was just abominable. You didn't even know where you were shooting either. So, yeah, I'm really glad that they gave you red dot sights right off the get-go with those. I mean, you can eventually get used to them and kind of know where your middle of the screen is eventually after you're playing with it a while, but, you know, you kind of don't want to have to go through that. So, anyways, that's that. Is there anything else I could talk about? Other than that, now that it's in open beta testing, I've noticed that there's a lot more people on. Like first channel, I remember in closed beta testing, it was only up to busy. Now with the first day of or like the second day of open beta, like it's already full, and the second channel is already well on its way to busy. So I feel like Arctic Combat is going to be sticking around for a long while because I don't know, its gameplay is just really fun overall, and you know, you just can't really get used to it. Also, the knife only thing. Oh, let me talk about the knife only aspect for a little bit. So, if you guys didn't know already, I'm a huge fan of the knife only mode in Arctic Combat. With this one-shot knife kill, or with its one-shot melee mechanic and all, and with the decreased movement speed and changes to the knife hit mark registration, I feel like I've noticed that if you try to knife someone from behind, they basically need to be staying still. If you're running up from them on behind, even if you're running and they're just walking, chances are you're probably not going to hit them on your first try. I don't know. I feel like they need to fix the knife registry on that front, where the knife registration feels like it's a little bit delayed, but at the same time, that's neither here or there. On top of that, their kind of lag compensation. I don't want to call it lag compensation, but there is definitely a lag, kind of like a lag delay, where if you turn, especially if you turn really drastically, then your third-person character model, when it's turning, people won't notice it turn right away, and that might you can actually work that to your advantage in knife only battles, where you can suddenly turn the corner and just turn on someone, just knife them without them and catch them completely off guard. Other than that, though, they've added the fact that you can actually get knife headshots, so now everyone feels like you have an explosive knife where if you hit someone in the head, their heads explode. So that's quite awesome. Thank you, Arctic Combat. Anyways, that's about it for this commentary, and I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.
Flag out!